Right then I wished more than anything that the earth would open up and swallow me whole. "Damn, Marshal," I said. "I'm sorry. I never meant—" "I know that, Deputy," the Marshal said. "You ain't the first, and you won't be the last to be put off some by my color. Some of the big cowmen around here are dyed-in-the-wool Southerners, and they just about can't stand seeing a black man walking around with a badge and a gun. I'm black, all right, but that ain't who I am. I expect a man is something more than the color of his hide." From the heat in my cheeks and ears, I knew I was blushing. I shook my head. "I sure hope so," I said. "I have a feeling my color just went to red." The Marshal offered his hand, and I took it. "I'm glad you're here," he said. "I suppose Marshal Ridgway filled you in?" "Well, he didn't tell me what color you are, but he told me something about the situation here. He told me about Archie Youngbull and his crew. He said they set fire to the office after they beat up Dan Wingate. I can still smell charred wood and smoke." Marshal Brown pointed to a chair opposite his desk. "The fire took pretty much everything that would burn," he said. "Hardbuyer was leaving town last week. He sold me this desk. I borrowed that chair from the Legal Tender Saloon. Have a seat." The room still showed the fire's damage. New beams supported the roof and ceiling, and the flooring was new as well. Both the front door and the door that led from the office to the jail cells in the rear had been replaced. "Looks like you're back in business," I said. "Any word as to where Archie and his boys are now?" The Marshal shook his head. "Some says they went north to steal horses from the Blackfeet. Others say they're down in Wyoming with the Shoshone. All I know is they haven't been in town since I got here." A coffee pot simmered atop a cannon stove at the room's center, and Marshal Brown poured a cup and handed it to me. "No guarantees regarding the quality," he said, "but it's hot and strong. Have you had supper?" "No," I said. "I just got in. Stayed at Fort Custer last night." "That's a good ride. I expect you're hungry. The city cafe is still open. We can talk while we eat." "I like the way you think," I told him. We walked together to the corner and turned left on Trail Street. Ahead, at the end of the block, the action at the Legal Tender was in full swing. Inside, the piano player thumped out melodies as before, and the babble of the patrons at the bar grew louder. "The Rimfire Cowboys are in town tonight," the Marshal said. "They work for John Wesley Dufresne, one of those Southern cowmen I mentioned. Not a bad bunch, but they tend to get a little wild when they're drinking." I grinned. "That describes about 90% of the cowpunchers I know."